Once upon a time, in a small town where the Clouds liked to visit often, lived a cheerful little girl named Lila. She had curly brown hair, eyes full of wonder, and a wild imagination that never ran out of stories. While other kids might have complained about rain, Lila loved it. The soft pitter-patter on the roof made her giggle. The smell of wet grass made her dance. But most of all, she loved puddles. Lila didn't just see puddles as water-filled holes in the road. To her, they were portals, magical mirrors that reflected secret worlds. Tiny lakes that belonged to invisible frogs. Splash zones made just for joyful jumping. One drizzly afternoon, as gray clouds spread their soft blanket across the sky, Lila pulled on her favorite yellow raincoat and her bright pink boots. She twirled in the hallway, kissed her mother on the cheek, and called out, "I'm off to the Puddle Kingdom." Her mom laughed and waved. "Be back before dinner, Your Majesty." As soon as Lila stepped outside, the world sparkled. Tiny raindrops dotted her coat, and the cool breeze tickled her cheeks. She tiptoed around the corner and down the lane, where the biggest puddles always gathered just outside Mr. Penley's bakery. There it was, the great puddle of Penlit Place. It stretched across the sidewalk like a shiny lake, rippling slightly in the wind. To most people, it looked like a nuisance, a soggy mess. But to Lila, it was the royal courtyard. She stepped to its edge and bowed deeply. "Greetings, Royal Mir. Princess Lila of the Puddle Kingdom has arrived." She twirled once, then leapt into the puddle with a joyful splash. Water sprayed in all directions. Lila squealed with delight. She'll imagine tiny creatures peeking out from the puddle's depths, glowing tadpoles, giggling fairies, and jellyfish with umbrellas. Suddenly, she heard a voice. "Stop splashing. You're getting my socks wet." It was Max, a boy from her school. He stood a few feet away, arms crossed, wearing pristine sneakers that looked like they'd never seen mud in their life. Lila blinked. "But Max, this is the royal courtyard." He raised an eyebrow. "It's a puddle." "It's not just a puddle," Lila insisted. "It's the center of my kingdom." Max rolled his eyes. "You're weird." Then he turned and stomped away, shaking one damp foot. Lila stared after him. Her smile faded just a little. Maybe it was silly. Maybe puddles were just puddles. She looked down into the water. Her reflection stared back, distorted and wavy. For a moment, she saw herself not as a princess, but as a regular girl in muddy boots. A soft plop beside her interrupted her thoughts. She turned and gasped. A tiny frog in a top hat was floating on a bottle cap like a royal barge. "Your Majesty," said the frog in a surprisingly deep voice, "the kingdom needs you." Lila blinked. "Wait, the other kingdoms have grown cold and gray," croaked the frog. "No one jumps, no one dances. The joy is missing. Only you can bring it back." Lila's mouth fell open. "Me?" The frog tipped his hat. "You are the princess of the Puddle Kingdom, are you not?" Lila puffed up proudly. Yes, I am." "Then follow me." And just like that, the frog disappeared into the puddle. Lila took a deep breath, closed her eyes, and jumped. The splash was louder than before. And when Lila opened her eyes, everything had changed. She stood in a wide open marshland, where puddles shimmered like silver coins scattered across green grass. In the sky above, clouds swirled in pastel colors. Frogs in capes leaped between lily pads. Rain boots marched by themselves in parades. A snail orchestra played soft music beneath a mushroom. It was magical. "Welcome to the Puddle Kingdom," said the frog, who now wore a sash that said Minister of Muck. Lila clapped her hands in delight. "This is amazing." But the frog's smile faded. It was amazing, but lately, visitors have stopped coming. Children don't splash anymore. They tiptoe. They avoid. They dry too quickly. Lila looked around. Indeed, the puddles shimmered dimly. A gray mist crept across the grass. "Why?" she whispered. "They've forgotten," the frog said. "Forgotten the joy of puddles, of not caring about mud on your boots or water in your hair. They think it's messy, Silly. Pointless. Leela frowned. But it's fun. It's beautiful. The frog nodded. Exactly. But only a true puddle princess can remind them. Leela stood tall. I accept the quest. She climbed onto a lily-pooled chariot and zoomed across the kingdom, splashing through every puddle. Laughing loudly, she spun with umbrella dancers and slid down rainbow gutters. Wherever she went, the puddles brightened and the music played louder. At last, she reached the edge of the Kingdom, a dark and silent place. Here, the puddles had frozen still, covered in gray crusts. Children stood outside them, arms folded, noses scrunched. Max was among them. Puddles are dumb, one boy muttered. My mom says I'll get dirty, another added. Lila stepped forward. She twirled, she stomped, she leaped with a dramatic splash. The great crack, she sang. Step in the splash, dance in the rain. Forget the mud, forget the stain. With every jump, the joy will grow, and color blooms where puddles flow. One by one, the children stepped closer. Max hesitated, then dipped a toe. Lila held out her hand. Come on, you just might like it. He stared, then took it. Splash! The kingdom exploded with color. Puddles reflected rainbows. Laughter echoed across the hills. The joy was back. Suddenly, a distant voice called out, Leela! The sky began to shift. The puddles rippled. The frog tipped his hat once more. Until next time, Your Majesty. And in a blink of an eye, Leela was back outside Mr. Penley's bakery. The rain had stopped. The clouds had parted. The great puddle of Penley Place shimmered beneath her feet. Beside her stood Max, his shoes soaked, his grin wide. That was actually kinda awesome, he admitted. Leela beamed, I told you. There's magic in puddles. From that day on,